What's up, guys? Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we're doing Part 6 of A Monument to All Your Sins, which is complete every level of Halo Reach on Legendary by yourself. So start this up. The first area that you spawn in for this mission has no enemies, a bunch of dead bodies from civilians, but no actual enemies to fight here. So we're going to go through these doors. Up on top of the stairs here, there's going to be 3 skirmishers. So we're going to try to take those guys out here. If you don't kill them here, they'll run away, and you have to fight them later on, but they're not any more difficult to fight later on, so even if they do run away here, that's fine. We'll deal with them later. We can see one ran away. So we're going to grab one of their plasma pistols, and there's actually more pistol ammo on the ground here by a dead Marine. And then we're going to head over here. There are going to be a bunch of suicide grunts in this section. We're going to take them out with plasma pistols. The reason we're using a plasma pistol is because it actually is easier to aim. You don't have to aim at all, really. Body shots will do just fine. It'll push them back, and then you don't have to worry about those grenades getting too close to you. And also, you don't have to reload, so you could easily switch between targets without having to worry about, pacing your shots and everything. So just kind of fire as fast as you can until the grunt dies, and then you can switch to your next target. You do want to be careful when going around these corners, though, because some like to spawn right around the corner, and you go through the doorway, and they just blow up. So be careful. Watch your radar. Take things slow here. You do want to juggle a needler as soon as you find one. You want to kind of collect some needler ammo for the next section. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to juggle a plasma pistol and a needler up until this section. So that's kind of our side objective right now, is to collect needler ammo, and it's totally random how many needlers you get or come across. It just whatever spawns with these grunts randomly is what you're going to get. So sometimes you'll get more than other times, but we're going to grab as much as we can, whatever we're given. Some over here. There's more pistol ammo right here by this dead Marine, so grab that if you need to. And then we're going to move forward, and there's going to be a series of ramps up ahead here with some more suicide grunts and any skirmishers you didn't kill. You can see I just popped him in the head right there. He was the one who ran away in the beginning, and I just took a bunch of shots right there. Kind of weird. They usually just all draw plasma grenades and become suicide grunts, but I got shot up a little bit there. But that's all right. We killed them, and we're moving on. So as we continue to grab ammo for our weapons, we're going to grab the health pack on the wall over here, kind of behind this chain link fence. There's an open door, though, so we could walk right in, grab that, and we're going to pause up ahead here. We're going to kind of move up to this point and then move back, because there's a spirit dropship that comes in with brutes, and they kind of hover there for a little bit and shoot up anybody who's over there. So we're just going to let them do that, and we're going to run down here, and we're going to jump across this gap, and then we can wrap up around this guy and assassinate him. Don't go into the animation. We just want the quick back smack, and then we want to switch to our pistol, and you could actually take these 2 brutes out who are kind of choking additional civilians down here with some well-placed pistol shots. It takes 3 shots to the head to kill them. So if you kind of just pace your shots, you can see I didn't really shoot quickly. I just was very slow and calm about it, because you don't want the bloom to be too crazy. You want it to have a chance to reset your targeting reticle, to reset back down to the minimal size, so it's the most accurate. And then for those 3 brutes who were dropped off by the dropship, we could take them out with a needler, which I did, and then we could focus on these reinforcements that come through the door. There's 3 skirmishers and a brute. I tried to stick the brute. That's what I like to do, but I missed that time around, so we're just going to headshot these skirmishers, and then we could finish off this brute with a needler. So the needler is very effective against the brutes. That's why we were collecting ammo for it, because the brutes don't have any shield or anything, so the needles just go right into them. And if you get enough into them, they actually super combine and explode and kill them in one explosion. So a very efficient way to take out brutes. And then obviously the skirmishers, we just headshot those guys. And then we'll jump up here, and we could grab a sniper, and we could juggle this to the next section. There's a health pack up here, and we're going to juggle our sniper and pistol down here. So we have a sniper, pistol, and needler heading into the next section now. So we're going to go through the doors that those reinforcements came through, and we're going to go up the stairs to the left. There's going to be 1 or 2 grunts up here on the left, so we're going to just sprint up here, and then we can just punch these guys. There happens to be 1 this time around, and he has a needler, which is good, so we can grab more ammo for that. We're going to take him out quickly and efficiently. He usually doesn't fire back or anything. He's just kind of startled that you ran up around the corner, so you could kind of punch him real quick and kill him before he could do anything, really. And then we're going to take out this chieftain, or not a chieftain, but he's a brute captain. You can see he has the fancier helmet on, and he continues to have it on because I did not shoot him in it. The plan is to shoot him in the face. There we go. There's a good shot. So I'm looking for my pistol now, and it's up here, so kind of all over the place here now. But we're going to take out these grunts, and there's going to be some jackals all the way in the back, but right now there's just grunts and brutes up at the forefront here. So we're going to use the sniper to take out these brutes and kill as many brutes as you can with the sniper. If you're not great at shooting, just try anyway. However many people you don't kill, we'll just take out with the needler later on. So that's kind of your backup plan, is to close the gap if you can't kill them with the sniper, and then use the needler to get that super combine on them. And then for the remaining jackals and grunts, we'll just use the pistol, and there's also a DMR in this area as well. So there's a bunch of pistol ammo in this room and also DMR, so we could use that to take out the enemies that we could easily headshot, which are the jackals and grunts. and eventually some skirmishers will be in here as well. So we got 2 brutes left on the other side. We're going to take these guys out, and then we could go activate the elevator to call it back up here to the section we're in, because we want to get on that elevator. We want to piece out of this room. So we got some little minions over here now. We took out all the brutes, I believe, so we just have to focus on these grunts and jackals now. The jackals, obviously, you want to shoot in the little notch in their shield. It gets them to kind of stagger backwards. Then they expose their head. You could hit them with the headshot after that. And then the grunts are just straight up vulnerable the whole time to headshots. So just aim for the head. That's all you do. And pull the trigger after that, you know. But we're going to run up here. You could melee these guys if they're distracted like so. There's a bunch of ammo for the pistol in the back here. So on the left of the switch over here, there's a health pack as well. There's also more Needler in this crate right here. There's a good amount right there, so we'll grab that. Health packs, there's a couple of them back here like I mentioned. We're going to activate the switch, and we'll sprint back the way we came. You could choose to stay up here and fight this wave of enemies. There's 2 dropships that come in, one kind of back where we were by the switch, and then one more back the way we came. So you could do either one first. I like to go down here first and clean these guys up. And then all the enemies that come in towards the switch where we were is actually, all those people are going to be distracted by the Marines up there, so, or civilians, whatever they are. The AI is up there, the friendly AI. I'm just going to hang here. There's going to be 3 skirmishers and 3 brutes. One's going to be a ham boy, a hammer-wielding brute. I shorten it to ham boy. So we're going to hang out here until they drop off. Unfortunately, they kind of hide behind some cover there for a little bit, so you can't get them right as they fall down. But you can throw some nades if you'd like, I suppose, if you want to place those nades right where they land. But we're just going to headshot these guys as they come through, and we'll needle these brutes as they run forward at us. So that's the worst thing they could do, is just run straight at us while we have a needler, but that's what they tend to do here. So 2 health packs on the wall here, to my left and my right if you need it. And we're going to grab the DMR, grab it right there from that crate. There's also one up at the top here. So it's right up against here, leaning against that, whatever that is, that planter's box of some kind. So I didn't really need to switch to the DMR here, but I just wanted to show you where it is, to show you where the additional ammo is if you need it. There's also more pistol pretty much directly below me. There's a doorway into the lower level there, and there's it's basically just a little hallway down there. So there's more pistol in there if you need it. There's also more pistol on the lower level where we ran in and smacked that grunt when we first started this whole section. There's pistol ammo below him, kind of in that section, by a dead Marine. So grab that if you need more pistol ammo. And we're just cleaning up here. You know, it's a little messy, but this whole place could use some lemon pledge, to be honest. But we're not here for that. We're going to head to the elevator. And I skipped ahead a little bit there. It's like a 25, 30-second elevator ride, so we don't need a tutorial for that part. We're going to sprint ahead here, and we're going to run outside and grab the rockets from this Marine who's kind of facing off against these Banshees over here. Grab more DMR ammo from that crate to the left. And then we're going to head over here and grab our jetpacks and become a part of the Bullfrogs. So that's up ahead here to the right. There will be a nav point for you, so even if you don't know where you're going, just follow the nav point, grab the jetpack, hop over here, and we could coast along. And we're going to skip the majority of the enemies up ahead here. And by the majority, I mean pretty much all of them. So just keep hopping along, follow this path, and we're going to get on one of the I-beams down here. And we'll just kind of walk across it. This is not where you're supposed to be, but we're going to skip the whole section above us here. And then we're going to jetpack up over here to the left and onto this ledge. And then we're going to jump out kind of into the abyss over here, but we're going to jetpack nicely over here onto the ledge. And then just continue following the ledge here. We want to hug the right side so we don't fall off. And then we're going to come upon a support structure over here. It's going to be on the left. You can see this kind of bracing, cross-bracing type thing over here. I don't know what it is, but jetpack over to it. Land, and we'll go back to the ledge. And then we'll go over here to this kind of I-beam up here type thing. And then we'll wait a little bit for our jetpack to recharge. And then we're going to go up all the way to there. And there are some enemies up here, but you should be able to make it past without them making too much of an issue for you. You could make it past without killing anybody most of the time. I decided to throw a nade there just to increase my chances, so there wasn't as much incoming fire. But once you get into this building, just kind of jetpack straight up and then kind of go back the way you came, but on the top level here. And you'll come to this section. There's going to be a Phantom dropping off some Jackals down there. We're not going to engage those Jackals at all. Try to just hide here and grab some rocket ammo and DMR and a health pack if you need it. And there's going to be 3 grunts. We'll take these guys out. And we're just going to wait for the Phantom to leave so we could kind of make our way to where we're going without, you know, the hassle of all those turrets firing at us. They're just kind of hanging out for a little bit. He's leaving, so we could go over here, up onto this, and then we're going to jetpack across to the balcony over here. And you can see I'm not really just holding down the jetpack. I'm kind of just pulsing it. So I kind of nicely move over here. And then we're going to go to the first vertical line in the railing as soon as it starts curving to the left. So we're going to go to this one right here. Hop on top of this. And then we're going to jetpack straight up and to the right. You can see the lines in the windows and kind of the structure here. We're going to follow this line, basically one line to the right of where we are right now, and just jetpack up to the trim type thing, this gray line right here. And you can land on this, wait for your jetpack to recharge, and then once it does, we're going to jump and jetpack up to the right, and we're going to land and wrap around the tree to the left. We want to make sure the tree's to our left, and so is this pillar. And then we're going to come in here, and we're going to backsmack this fuel rod chieftain, and then we'll come back out to the balcony, and we'll jetpack up to this higher balcony up here, and we'll be safe up here. There's going to be a phantom that comes in behind us, and also all the enemies are going to be the other side of us, but we're safe up here. Nobody could reach us up here except for those phantom gunners, so we're just going to kind of go over here so we're safe from them. And in the meantime, we could start in on killing these guys in here. There's going to be 2 fuel rod grunts. Those are your most dangerous enemies at this point now that you killed the fuel rod chieftain. So just prioritize those fuel rod grunts. They're a 1 headshot kill. They don't have the faceplate that some grunts do. So we're just going to hang here, kill the enemies from above. You have some rockets which you could use. I like to keep 1 rocket though, so I could bring that to the next section, and I give it to my Marine so he could use it with infinite ammo, because Marines like to somehow carry infinite ammo for every weapon. So we're going to take out these fuel rod turrets, or not fuel rod turrets, just regular turrets. And fortunately for these turrets, they actually just explode as soon as the original driver or gunner gets out or is killed. So you don't have to worry about anybody else getting into those. And we're just going to headshot these guys as we can. Try to focus on one at a time. You want to make sure that you're using the floor in front of you kind of as cover. You can only shoot at 1 enemy at once, so there's no use kind of sticking your head out and seeing 4 of them at once, because then all 4 of those could shoot at you while you could only shoot at 1, so it makes no sense to do that. But going back to that jetpacking segment where I was starting off at the very low balcony and then I kind of jetpack all the way up to this point, some people were asking me how I got so high. They were unable to actually get onto the trim themselves, but it's actually very easy. I think what they must have been doing was just simply hitting the jetpack button while at a standstill. You want to jump and then hit the jetpack and hold the jetpack down at that point, which will greatly increase the height of your jetpack. So we're almost done with this section here. We got a ham boy. He's the only guy that remains. We're going to take him out, and then we'll move and grab some health. I'll show you where some health is for this section, because you definitely want to grab a health pack right before you head on to the Falcon here. So there's some health and some more DMR over here, back the way we should have come from. So we're going to go through these doors. There's going to be kind of a bridge over here. We're going to cross it, and you can see these kind of planters beds in the middle of this balcony, or not balcony, but bridge here. And at the end, there's a tree on one, and there's going to be a DMR leaning up against it, and a health pack, a second health pack as well, if you have a buddy with you. And we're going to go back and grab the Falcon. I'm going to skip ahead here because it takes a while for the Falcons to take off and the Pelicans to come grab the survivors and ultimately leave. So that takes a little bit of time. I'm going to skip ahead here. But here we are on the Falcon. We are going to focus on these first 2 brutes on the first building here that we come over the top of. So there's just 2 brutes hanging out. Kill these guys, or at least fire at them so they can't really fire back. They get staggered. And we're going to ignore the brute chieftain, the ham boy down there. With the grunts, they don't really shoot at us. We're going to start firing at that one up at the top there that we just killed, because he has a plasma repeater and he could actually damage you pretty severely. So take him out so he cannot do so. And you can see right here I'm shooting at these grunts and this brute down here. You should actually probably not do that. You should probably start focusing on the banshees towards the right, because those guys will actually shoot at you. Those grunts and that brute we were shooting at do not really do anything to you. So focus on the banshees. Do as I say, not as I do. But at this point, the banshees will be coming in from the left. They kind of do a loop around you. So that's why I'm looking to the left over here. And they'll kind of swoop across our view here. And once they do, you can start shooting at these guys. You actually have to lead the target pretty significantly. So I'm not the best at doing that, but you'll see me kind of shooting in front of the Banshee instead of shooting directly at the Banshee a lot of the time. So definitely do that, because they will not take any fire if you're shooting directly at them, unless they're flying directly at you, like they do sometimes right there where I killed a couple of them. Obviously, leading the target means just shooting straight at them at that point, but we're going to focus on the Banshees to the right at this point for the most part, because those Banshees now on the first segment are basically going to despawn and fall into the ocean. We got more Banshees over here, new Banshees on the right. We're going to look at that direction and see what we could see. Hopefully we see the Banshees and we can actually shoot at them, because they like to fly around behind you where you can't really shoot at them. So it's kind of random if you're able to take out a bunch or just a couple. It depends how they're flying that day. So we're going to fly down to the right side of the beach over here. The right side from our perspective, you know. I started laying into the Wraith a little bit to get some damage on him early, so we didn't have to damage him as much while we were on foot. Or in a hog, because we're going to get in a warthog in a second. But you want to focus on these guys once you start landing over here. There's some grunts, some jackals, and a brute over here, so you can take them out all with the turret of the falcon before you actually land. And for bonus points, I like to look to the left, and any surviving banshees tend to fly over here for a little bit, so you could take them out possibly. So we got one last banshee there at the end, and we're going to be dropped off, and we're going to grab some health if we need it. There's a couple health packs by the dead marine over here, some DMR. There's more DMR ammo in the crate on the right, and we're going to move forward. There's going to be a warthog up against a rock over here, so we're going to grab that, and we're going to immediately speed over to the first switch that we want to activate. So we're going to hop in, and normally I would have had my marines get in, but I'm actually going to drive ahead. This is something new I started doing to make it faster and easier. And we're actually just going to jetpack up here to the switch, and we can activate this one. You could actually speed over to the next one as well, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually just cut back and quit while I'm ahead, and we'll actually do the other switch the normal way that historically is just the way you're intended to play it. So grab the warthog. You should have some marine buddies that followed you. If not, go find some. There's a bunch over where you started this area from. And then I'm actually going to hop out and get the passenger to get out, and then I'm going to give him my rockets so he could have infinite rockets firing from my passenger side. And once we make the switch, I'll get back into the driver's seat, and he will get back into the passenger seat. Probably. Who knows? The AI in this game is silly sometimes, where they just stand right next to the vehicle and don't do anything. But he got in this time, so that's good. We'll drive to this Wraith in the middle here. Even though we're kind of going to the other side and he can't really see us, he could still lob a Wraith mortar over and kill us, even though he can't even really see us at all. Kind of a cheap shot, but, he'll do it. He doesn't care. So we took him out. You could kind of just hang there and just avoid any of the Wraith mortars. Just back up or drive forward to avoid any shots. Just keep your distance so you have enough time to react. Then we're going to move over here. There's a second Wraith over here along with a bunch of infantry. So we're going to take these guys out. There could be a ghost as well. There are 2 ghosts in this section, and one of them is on this side of the map. So sometimes he may push forward and be in that area. Sometimes he's kind of more towards the buildings off the beach. So we're going to move up here and just kind of let the rocket guy do his job here, along with the turret guy. We'll give him some credit. But the rocket guy is stealing the show here right now. But just remember to keep moving. You don't want to be at a complete standstill because you could get stuck or plasma pistol or something. So just kind of keep moving a little bit. So if you do get a grenade thrown at you, you're not, it won't hit you. Then you'll be moving forward, so it doesn't matter. So we have the other Wraith over here now. Weirdly, that Wraith just kind of moved into the center, which I've never seen happen before. He kind of is supposed to be over on the other side where we were kind of hanging out over here. But I guess he wanted to move forward. He wanted to take the place of his buddy over there in the center of the area. But we're going to hop out once we kill enough of the enemies over here. Once we're comfortable getting out, grab the switch and activate it, and we'll move back to the Warthog over here. And now that we've activated both, we could go to the end. So we're just going to speed over with the Warthog. You can see I parked it so that when I got back in, I could immediately just drive forward. There's a Fuel Rod Chieftain somewhere around here and a Ham Boy. Sometimes they're in this room with the switch. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's one. Sometimes it's the other. This time it was the Ham Boy. But you can see I threw a grenade at him to kind of give him something to think about, to get him to dodge so he didn't immediately just charge my position. You don't necessarily have to do that, but it just increases your odds of survival. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video when we tackle New Alexandria on Legendary. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found that video helpful, be sure to click on the scorpion icon to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. You can also check out some related guides by clicking on the videos on screen, and you can find links in the description for other social media links of mine. Stay tuned for more Halo guides, and I'll see you in the next one.